So I've wanted to do a video giving a high level rundown of the air conditioning system for a while now, so I thought today's the day. So I'm pretty fortunate that the air conditioning is working perfectly well in my car, so we'll be able to use a great example to show you what the bits are and kind of how it should be working. What we'll also then be able to do is look over at the Clio, because we've got a problem with that, and I'll show you what happens when you've got bad components. So this video isn't going to be about a full diagnostic, how to do this, how to do that, but it's basically going to be an idiot's guide, should we say. Not that any of you are idiots, but just to give you a good explanation of kind of what some of the points are, what some of the components are, where they sit, and some high level diagnostic bits that you'll be able to check for yourself and obviously see what's working and what's not working. So there are about 4 or 5 main components of the air conditioning system, most of which live underneath the bonnet. The first element is basically our compressor, which sits down here kind of at the front of the engine. If I stick my finger through here, hopefully you can see it's just about touching, or I'm just about touching, you see my fingers through there, the Serpentine Belt, which sits on the pulley for the compressor. That's where, just at the front, there's kind of a component that doesn't always turn. It only turns if the air conditioning's turned on. So in the car, if you've got the aircon turned on, basically that bit should start spinning along with the whole wheel there. If it's not spinning, then it could be various different things. One, you're not got the air conditioning turned on, or there might be a fault in the system, but we'll look at that in a minute. Once the gas has been compressed, it's then coming out of there at high temperature and high pressure. Then it comes through, you can see the silver pipes, basically comes around, works its way around before it then goes into the condenser. So the condenser is a bit like a radiator, or in essence that's exactly what it is. It sits in front of the main car radiator and does the job of cooling that hot gas down. So as you turn your air conditioning on, there's also kind of the fan that just sits behind the front here. You can see the fan there. That starts to turn when you turn your air conditioning on. The airflow, obviously through the front of the car, helps cool it down. The fan helps cool it down as well. And obviously, just like you would a kettle, steam coming out, when that cools down, it cools back down into water. The hot gas now at high pressure, when it cools down, turns into a high pressure, now liquid. So the next component that the hot liquid that's slightly cooled down now runs through is the dryer. And on the Giulietta, the dryer is an integral part of the condenser. I think it sits on one side of the condenser or the other. I'm sure it's on this side actually. The dryer does the job of basically removing any remaining water that might be left in that hot liquid. From there, it basically runs back through the car, back around through these silver pipes that we see, comes along here. We've got a valve that we'll look at in a minute, comes along, runs all the way through. You can just about see over here at the end of my finger, that is where there's a high pressure sensor, so we can look at some readings from that. We can see when the engine's running. We'll have a look in a little while and show you kind of what you can expect to see off the back of that. But then the warm liquid at high pressure, we know it's high pressure because it's a thin pipe, continues to run around the back of the engine bay, comes over here, and we can just about see there 2 pipes. You've got a fat pipe and a thin pipe there. The thin pipe then goes straight into the cabin of the car. As it goes into the cabin of the car, what happens is it passes through an expansion valve, and just when liquid is expanded very, very quickly, it cools down rapidly. So basically, as it comes into the car, it's super cooled, which makes it really cold and really efficient before it then comes into basically your evaporator. So the evaporator again is like another radiator, which sits just behind your blowers. So when you turn the fans on, the fans blow, it blows all the air through that evaporator, super chilling the air, and that's what we feel out of here. Once it's gone through that expansion valve, it's then at low pressure. Once it's run through the evaporator, it slowly turns back into a gas before it then returns back out at low pressure, which is where we see now a wider, fatter pipe. Let's have a look back outside under the front. So returning back out from the cabin, we can see the fatter pipe there. So that's now low pressure gas. And from there, basically it comes back down underneath, runs back around the engine bay, comes back along, goes back into the compressor, and the whole process starts again. So from compressor, condenser, dryer, at high pressure, high pressure, high pressure, all the way through. We can read the readings, high pressure through into the expansion valve, super chilled into low pressure. We get it coming out of our vents through the blowers. It's now back into a gas at low pressure, comes out the car. If we touch this when the engine's running, we'll be able to feel how cold it is as it's coming back out, back around, back through, back into the condenser, and the whole process starts again. Ordinarily, those pressures on the low pressure side is about 30 to 40 psi, something like that. On the high pressure side, I think it's around about 150 to 300 psi. The things that can really impact that is the temperature of the day, the humidity and stuff like that. So there's so many different parameters that will actually make that pressure alternate from one day to the next. You may have seen as well, just as we were looking around at a couple of the pipes, there's a couple of valves. So just here, you've got a valve here, which is your high pressure valve. And then over on this side, just at the back here, hidden away, believe it or not, right underneath here, just about to see my finger, that's our low pressure valve. Okay, so here now we can see we've just basically got this cap on here, and you can actually see it's got a H on there to indicate that it's high pressure. So underneath there, if I unscrew this, what you can see basically is a valve in there. It's a bit like a bicycle wheel valve, where it's got kind of the pin on the inside. You may have seen the red and blue pressure gauges that you can use to read the pressures. These are a good way of diagnosing a faulty air conditioning system, but remember that you have to do it with the aircon turned on as well. If your aircon isn't getting cold, then it could be for a few different reasons. First one being that if your pressure is low in the system, your clutch won't kick in. So what I'll try and do now is demonstrate the clutch kicking in. So basically, like I said before, this point down here where the air compressor is, on the front of it, there's a bit that doesn't move ordinarily, and then when you turn the aircon on, it does move. So what I'll do is turn the car on now, start the engine, but I won't turn the air conditioning on. Okay, so now the engine's running. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Perhaps if I put the cover on, it might be a bit more noise insulated. But what I'm going to do now is see if I can get the camera down and we can see the compressor, and hopefully we can see the bit that's not turning. It should be static. Okay, so we saw that kind of round looking component. I think there was some orange and black on it. It's a bit difficult to see from where I was, but basically that wasn't moving. So what I'm going to do now is just go in the car. We're just going to turn the air conditioning on. There we go. And if I put the camera back down, that round piece should be turning. Okay, so there we go. So that's a healthy operating clutch. That means the air conditioning system is working. We've got good high pressure, we've got good low pressure, the electrical system's working, everything is working, the compressor's all good, and everything is functioning well. So now in the car, if I turn the fan up, we can feel we've got lovely cold air coming out of the blowers, and everything's good. This is where the gas is leaving the cabin, out on this fat pipe here. So I can feel by touching it, exactly this one here, but it feels really cold still. So as much as it's gone through that evaporator in the car, or in the cabin, and we've really got benefit from it, it's still really, really cold. And I bet if we look at my fingers, yeah, look, we can see the condensation there. So ordinarily, if you're parked up on a warm day or any day, you've got your aircon on, you always get that telltale sign that your aircon's on, or someone's had their aircon on, because you get that little bit of puddle underneath it, which is basically condensation driven off those lines. So with the engine running, the high pressure coming back through, running back through our sensor. Let's have a look at some of these readings coming off of that pressure sensor. So with the engine running but the AC off, we can see that the pressure sensor is reading, or you can see it there, 6950. If I turn the AC on, we can see straight away that it jumps up and it's slowly building the pressure as the condenser is turned on, and it's building that pressure up and up and up. So there we go, with the fans on full blast, we can see it settling there around the 18,000 mark. It's about 260 psi, something like that. So there's quite a lot of pressure in there. If when we hit the AC button inside the cabin, that element didn't start spinning there, it's basically called the AC clutch on the compressor, that didn't start turning. So that could be for various reasons. One, like I say, it could be that you've got low pressure, so there's not enough gas in the system. Two, it could be high pressure, so that there's a blockage in the system somewhere, or something's not working right. So that maybe, I don't know, maybe your condenser isn't working properly, so it's not allowing enough flow through. Maybe the fan isn't working, it's getting too hot and it's keeping too much of a high temperature. Either of those things will stop that from kicking in. If the clutch does pull in, but your fans aren't blowing particularly cold, then it's probably that you have got low pressure and there's not a lot of gas in the system. So for me, I'm kind of half suffering with that a little bit. Everything's working fine. I've got a nice cool air blowing out the fans, which is great, it's fantastic. But on a particularly hot day, it's not that efficient. You know, the temperature that comes out of here is still a little bit warm, or say warm, it's not as cold as it once was once upon a time. I've never had the car regassed. It's 11 years old, so it's probably due a regas now. It's probably got low pressure, but it's still within those parameters is still within the allowable tolerances for the system to work. So if that's what you're getting, you may want to reconsider getting it regassed. I'm going to get mine done soon. I'm going to take it to a local garage near me, not the one that I got the clutch done at, obviously, as we know from one of the last videos, never going back there again. But there's another one up the road from me. I've got a great relationship with them as well. Most garages will do it for about 60 quid, something like that. There's obviously other diagnostic checks that can be done as well, looking for leaks and stuff like that, where there's a dye that you can put in the system, and you can get basically UV goggles where you can see if there's any leaks coming out of the pipes. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about a high level check of seeing things that are wrong and that are not working properly, maybe just, you know, where the different components are and how the AC system works. What we can do though is just have a look over at the Clio, like I said we was going to do, and we'll have a look at a bad clutch where it's not kicking in. So over in the Clio we can see the same sort of things. Again, we've got different valves here, you know, the high pressure and the low pressure. Obviously we can see the Schroeder valves underneath there if I remove the caps. Exactly the same thing again. So one's slightly bigger than the other, so you can't plug the wrong diagnostic reading valves on them, you know, the red and blue ones we said about, or for when it's getting regassed. But we can see basically the same components, exactly the same components. The fan, the condenser, everything that's there. So just down here you can see, if I hold the camera at a right angle, you can see just about, if I get my finger, just in front of my finger there is where the condenser is and where that clutch is. If I start the Clio up, everything's fine. What we've not got on at the moment is AC. There's no light on there, there's no AC or anything like that. So if we have a look underneath, we should see whether or not we can, but in the middle, the clutch is not turning on the compressor. So, okay, so coming in here, hopefully I'm going to be able to zoom in a little bit. You just about see, there we go. You can see there, nothing in the middle is turning. The Serpentine Belt is spinning the compressor nicely, but it's not spinning the clutch in the middle, it's not engaging. So if I now turn the air conditioning on, there we go, we can see we've got the nice light there. I can hear the fan has kicked in. A bit difficult to see it on this one because of the air intake. But then down at the compressor, once again, we can see that the middle element's there. Basically that clutch hasn't kicked in, it's not turning. Now I know exactly what the problem is with this car. It's a 2009, so it's a couple of years older than the Alfa. And basically there's no pressure in the system whatsoever. So what you would be able to do, if you were allowed to do it, is basically take off one of these valves, pop something in there, and you'd be able to kind of hear some pressure coming out, just like a bicycle tyre. When you push the pin in the middle, you hear a hiss. It's actually illegal to do that. It's actually illegal to release that into the air. So if you wanted to check your system to see if you had pressure in there, and you use the key to press that, you'd be able to get a hiss coming out of that, but obviously I'm not recommending doing that. So this car, I know it needs a regas. I'm pretty confident that all the components are working, but I know 100% that there's no pressure in the system whatsoever. So this will be my first port of call, is going to get this one regassed. Another way of telling if your compressor is working properly when you turn the air conditioning on is basically when you turn it on, what you should be able to do is hear kind of a mechanical click. Just as that pulls in, you get a nice little click. So listen out for that when you turn the switch on inside the cabin. Ordinarily, either the compressor coming on or the fan starting to turn should indicate that the electrical system is working just fine as well. But if the fan doesn't start, that's not working. What you can do is obviously check the system for any fuses or relays or anything that might be an error, just to make sure that you've got power going to the system. If you're brave enough and you can basically get underneath the car to access the plug for the compressor, what you can do is just remove the electrical plug for that, get your multimeter on there and just see if you've got a switching current on there or a switching reading on there. Basically if you've got 12 volts going to 0 or something like that when you turn it on and off. If everything is working fine, you've got pressure in the system and you're confident that basically there's no leaks and all the air elements are working as they should do, and you're pretty confident that everything should be working and the signals are getting sent to your compressor, you do that, you've got 12 volt switching, but the compressor clutch isn't releasing or it's not engaging, then it sounds like you've probably got a dodgy compressor and you need to get it out, either get it replaced or at least get it serviced, because it might just be that that clutch is stuck in and it needs a bit of releasing somehow. So hopefully that's been useful. Quick high level rundown of the air conditioning system, some of the components, some of the quick checks that you can do, some of the reasons why it might not be working, low pressure, high pressure, bad fuse, bad components, condenser, evaporator, whatever it might be. Basically what you can do, simple checks, stick your finger on the pipes coming in. Is it cold? Fantastic. Is the clutch spinning? Brilliant. is none of that working. Start again, have a look where it might be. If you found it useful in any way, shape or form, then please do give us a like. Down below as well, you might have seen that there is super like, and no one's actually ever given me a super like or a super thanks, I think it is. You never know, you might actually be the first one to give me some super thanks. And then obviously coming up now is the subscribe button. If you haven't subscribed, I do recommend subscribing. Like I say, it's the easiest way to find your way back to the channel. There's so many videos out there now on this car. Over 100 videos, I think, just on this car alone. So please do subscribe, please do hit like down below, please do hit super thanks if you really want to. And yeah, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. Hopefully I've not confused you too much with all the bits and pieces today, but if you've got any questions, pump them in the comments down below and I'll see if I can answer them and come back to you. So for now, thanks very much for watching, really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.